The modern world is bad. It is inhumane, unfair, and unjust. This is the world of money. It is not for the people. It is for those who produce money, for bankers and financiers. And ordinary people just serve them as attendants. They sweep their palaces. What lies behind the social welfare? Labor. But why does the banker live in 100 and 1,000 times better than worker, than peasant? What is money? Shackles, fetters, chains, durable and unbreakable chains holding the slaves in subjection more reliably than any steel. What are slaves in the 21st century? Do you ask me? What slaves? You and me, all around. You, me, him, her, all of us. We are all slaves, slaves of money. After all, if you stop to work, to plow, to sow, and reap, what's going to happen then? Our society will collapse, and we will die of hunger. We will run wild. Yes, it is necessary to work, to create something useful for the society. Otherwise, society will degrade and die. But how is the financial world organized? It is a pyramid. The Fed, U.S. Federal Reserve System, is at the top. The Fed prints dollars. How much? As much as it wants. Of course, Fed adheres to some of its own internal rules and regulations. It tries, for example, not to print too many dollars to prevent complete devaluation of the currency, etc., etc. But in principle, Fed can print as many dollars as it wants. Dollar is the global currency. Don't you know this? Let it be a Nick and Jane, and let it be a Mr. Smith, a banker of Nick and Jane. They both keep their money in his bank. That's why we use the title Mr. Smith with respect. Nick really wants to buy, well, let's say Jane's bicycle, but he has no money. More precisely, he has money, but not enough, only $10, while Jane wants $100 for her precious bicycle. That's a problem. What should Nick do? Well, this bicycle is so desirable. He gives Jane his $10 as a deposit and asks plaintively not to sell the bike to anyone. He says that he will bring the rest of the money soon. At the same time, he runs to his bank, to the respected Mr. Smith, to get a loan for the missing $90. As ill luck, Mr. Smith has no money at this moment, but he knows perfectly about $10, which Nick gave to Jane. And where will Jane bring his money to? That's right. She will put these $10 in her lovely bank to the same Mr. Smith. Therefore, Mr. Smith asks Nick to come back tomorrow in the hope that tomorrow he will get these $10. And everything happens this way. The next day, Jane brings $10 to the bank. The bank provides Nick these $10 on credit. Nick immediately gives them to Jane. She again puts them in a bank. The bank again provides Nick these $10 on credit, etc. As long as Nick the fool will gather enough money for the bicycle. Don't you get confused yet? Be patient. What do we have in the end? Nick finally got the bike from Jane. Wow! But at the same time, Nick owes $90 to the bank, Mr. Smith. And the bank, in its turn, owes $100 to Jane. In other words, those $10, which existed initially, have magically turned into $200, $190 of debts plus real $10. But these $10 would also turn into $1,000, even in a million or a billion, if Nick would make a more expensive purchase. If one Jane comes, the bank will return her the money of 10 other depositors. That's it. It means that the bank's debt is dangerous and not burdensome. Financial apocalypse. It can break our financial chains and can save all of us. It can finally release us from centuries of slavery. Apocalypse. Only financial apocalypse. We have no other choices. We are not slaves. We are the people. and we choose freedom. Now, with the advent of MMM, financial apocalypse is inevitable. From now on, it's just a matter of time. Grain has been sown, and it will sprout. What is MMM? Global Mutual Aid Society, Worldwide People's Bank, Financial Social Network. The point is that it is a voluntary and formal network of millions of people across the earth, people who rose up against financial slavery. They decided to declare war on the Fed and other banks and to win this war. In order to achieve this goal, they combined their money together, and it doesn't matter that separately their savings are. Welcome to System MMM. SergeyMavroday.com. We are waiting for you.